Okay, so this is the real reason why I keep getting arrested. When my daughter, Ava, when my kids came up here from Sacramento County in October 4th, 2016, they were abducted from my house, okay? They were brought up here by their mom, and corrupt local law enforcement, right? Corrupt judges and police officers, right? Were using One Safe Place to threaten women, basically threaten women, terrorize children, harass domestic violence victims. Okay, they would have these women sign paperwork in One Safe Place. Okay, they would sign this paperwork that would basically take control over their life, their parental rights, pretty much. You know what I mean? Their rights. And what they would tell, this is what they told Kendra, because this is what Kendra told me. Okay, Kendra tells me this stuff. Okay, she says that One Safe Place told her that they were going to help her with money for housing and money for schooling, you know, like education, right? Money for the kids, money for clothes, money for food, right? Kendra's all about money, dude. That's just how she is. And if you offered her a bunch of money, like, you know what I mean, like they did, if you offered her that, she would pretty much say, okay, no problem, you know, because that was her. I think that was her, you know, mainly her concern with leaving me, right, was that the fact that she wouldn't be able, you know, to just get a job right away. The other thing was housing, food, right, the EPT and stuff. And then originally, this is original, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? She's getting harassed by police officers. So she thought that if she went to a place like One Safe Place, right, they would be able to protect her from the corrupt police officers, right? If she told them the truth, right? And they would leave her alone, okay? That's what Kendra thought, right? And we talked before she went, before she signed up to One Safe Place. We talked, okay? And she said that basically the plan was this was kind of her plan or my plan, because she was getting harassed down in Sacramento as well, right? Like kind of just getting harassed wherever she went. She said that that we were all gonna get help, you know, like whether or not like we were gonna be together, that she still wanted to get help for the kids and for like, you know, for our family, right? So when I filed for custody orders and stuff down in Sacramento County, I filed for protective orders, right, for all of us, including Kendra. Like even if we weren't going to be together, I was going to help her, you know what I mean, or you know, at least protect her and the kids from this corrupt police officers. Okay, when she signed up for One Safe Place, that was what she told me before she signed up, was that she was going to get help and that I was going to be involved. Like I was going to go with her, right? Well, One Safe Place said to her basically that they couldn't help her unless she blamed me, pretty much, right? Like, oh, we have to have a victim, and we have to have perpetrator, a defendant, right, and a plaintiff, perpetrator and a victim, in order to help you. That's how the state. This is what they said. This is how the state works. So Kendra and One Safe Place come up with a plan. This is after I filed for custody, okay? Come up with a plan to blame me so that they could get the money for victim services. That was the whole plan from the very beginning, okay? Little did Kendra know, but these assholes at One Safe Place, like upper management, right? Like the guy that used to drive the red Corvette, and probably Chimente now, right? And Judge Gibson and Judge Flynn and Kennedy, right? The last Reading sheriff that we had, the last Reading police chief that we had, right? All these corrupt, really corrupt people. They were running the show at One Safe Place, and Kendra wasn't aware of that. So when she tells them all this stuff that the cops are doing, they already knew. Okay, so they force her into One Safe Place. But not only that, dude, they forced her into a mental hospital. They had her sign this paperwork for our kids. What they do is they say that they're going to protect our kids, okay? Like, they're going to protect your kids from me, right? Let's just say that. Let's pretend that. Let's pretend that's fucking reality, okay? But they're going to save the kids from me. Okay, well, they have you sign paperwork and stuff to do that, like protective services and stuff like that, right? Well, that paperwork is basically is like if anything happens to Kendra, like if she dies or whatever, then the county or One Safe Place has parental rights over your children. Okay, well, that was a huge mistake because number one, dude, I didn't do anything. Okay, number two, and that's why they're so adamant about me, like saying that I did something, he did something, he must have did something. They're trying to convince the kids, they're trying to convince all the people, they're trying to have Kendra alive fucking 7 years, man. It's all because they have to have that fucking perpetrator, right? So they're saying that I did something to her, right? Well, when Kendra tried to get away from One Safe Place and tried to leave, right, which I have evidence of, her calling from our house in Sacramento. From my house in Sacramento, she was calling my phone, and they dragged her out of there and fucking brought her up here. When she left, they considered our children abandoned children. Okay, displaced children, and they try to adopt them out. They try to adopt them to Trinity County. I have the paperwork, and I know somebody that works over there. So they try to adopt the kids out, all right, and it fails miserably. Right, because my sister's pissed, everybody's pissed. Our family never got a phone call or any of the paperwork for adoption. My sister's actually a foster care parent, like a mandated reporter for the state. She used to foster abused children, so she knows this whole system. Okay, and the county's lying about it the whole time. Oh well, this Kendra did this, and well Jake did this, and blah blah blah. And my sister's like, that doesn't fucking matter, man. What matters? The only thing that matters is the kids, and the kids aren't, with family, right? So they lied the whole time, right? Finally, the county had to bring the kids back but what they did is instead of bringing them back to me, they brought them back to Kendra, and then they arrested me and throw me in jail. This is Stephanie Bridget, Judge Gibson, Judge Kennedy, Judge Flynn. This is Judge Ryan, Omora. They all know these things. Okay, that's why Stephanie Bridget is the board member at Children's Legacy Center now. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get down to the nitty gritty. Okay. My daughter was molested at One Safe Place in end of October and November and probably December and January. Whenever she was there, she was molested. Not only that, but she was molested again at Kendra's house multiple times on multiple occasions. And it was only reported a few times, and then after that, it wasn't reported anymore because Judge Gibson said that Kendra's lying about it. Originally, they were all saying that Kendra was a liar. Then my kids get molested at therapy with family dynamics therapy, okay? And then when I tried to get therapy outside the county, okay, like away from this place, they freak out. They force my kids to go back to family dynamics again. My kids get fucking abused again, mentally and physically abused in therapy, right? My daughter was screaming, crying, begging me not to take her there, screaming and crying and begging not to go to speech therapy, okay? And then they placed Jason there with her. You know what I mean? Like they placed at the beginning, dude, all Jason did was beat my kids. That was it. Every time they tried to get out of the house, every time they tried to leave, every time Jace tried to call 911, Jason beat him. And that's why Jason ended up at my house full time. But when I had Jace full time and I tried to take my kids to Kaiser Permanente Medical Center down in Sacramento, and I tried to get help down from Sacramento, the whole county freaked out and started lying about me again. So before I was doing good, everything was good, man. And then all of a sudden I tried to take my kids to the doctor and they started freaking out. So here we go. My daughter got molested again in March 2021. I'm sure plenty of times after that, but this is the one I know for a fact, okay? And me and my daughter talked about her being molested at Kendra's house for an hour. And I tried to call the DA, the social services, Renee Johnson, and report this. I tried to call the police department and report this, and I talked to the judges about this. Okay, now listen, this is what they do every time. Stephanie Bridget says, make a police report with Reading Police Department. Then you call Reading Police Department, and then it's a hassle to make a police report. If you finally get to make a police report, then that police report goes to social services. Social services says, call the police department or call the DA, right? Then if you finally get the social services to make an investigation, finally, right, after years, right, then you'll get the DA to look at it. Then you might be in front of a judge for criminal charges against Jason or Kendra or Karen or whoever else, right? Judge Gibson, the speech therapist, whoever, right? Bruce Gregory, whoever it is, because their mentality. the way that they see things. They don't see things clearly. Now, the fact that I have all these accusations against me, that makes it even harder. So when Ava, my daughter, tells her teacher at school that she got molested, right? Then the teacher calls the police, right, and says that they got molested, right? And then the police show up there. They already know what's going on, right? So they call Kendra instead of me. And then Kendra goes out there and Kendra says Ava's lying for her dad. Total bullshit. Why the fuck would I have my kids lie? But not only that, but that's their mentality. Because somebody has already fucking made up stories about me constantly, about random fucking weird shit that I never have done, right? But not only that, have no fucking merit, no fucking evidence, nothing. All they have is just words, like just blah, 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 blah. Oh, he did this, he did that. It's the story has progressed over time. Like it's gotten worse and worse and worse since the first day that Kendra came up here. You know what I mean? And then now, on top of all those things, now I got charges against me last year because fucking Stephanie Bridget, and I got a restraining order against me, and then that makes it even harder for me to help my kids. So all I've asked from the day one, from the first day, was why can't we all just why can't I sit in the room with my kids, all of us, fucking I don't care, the whole county, all these county employees, I don't care, every judge and everybody, and sit in the room with my kids and have my kids talk to everybody about what's going on. And they freaked out about it. They flipped out, dude. I was like, I'll ask the president. I'll ask the president of the United States if we could all just sit in a room together and talk about all these things. Because I guarantee you, my daughter and my sons will have a different story if I'm there and we're all together. Because right now, all you have is hearsay. You have somebody making a report about what my kids said. And then nobody knows where Jace is at. Okay, so here we go. Ava gets molested at Kendra's house. When Jason's there with her, okay, in the middle of the night. I'm pretty sure Kendra was at work. I don't know. And Ava tells me that somebody's molested her, is laying on top of her, pushing in between her legs, scratches all in between her deep side of her inner thighs, okay? And she tells me the whole story. She said, Daddy, it was dark. I couldn't breathe. He's on top of me. He was just on top of me for a long time. I couldn't breathe. It hurt, right? And I called social services, and what did Renee Johnson say? I asked for an examination, a forensic examination, and she said it was intrusive to my daughter. Because the county, this is why, okay? Because the county knows that she'd already been molested at one safe place. So they're trying to defend that, or they're trying to protect that or cover that up, right? What they don't realize is that cover up has been covering up my daughter getting molested over and over and over again, and they keep using that same fucking excuse to cover it up again, right? So these are the clothes from that night that my daughter brought me from her fucking mom's house. She didn't want to go back to her mom's. RPD and APD forced me to fucking send my daughter back to her mom's after she'd been molested because of a fucking court order signed by Judge Gibson. Okay, and my daughter fucking was crying the whole time. She didn't want to go to her mom's. I sat in Reading Police Department, the lobby there, with my daughter crying, basically begging not to go to her mom's, and nobody fucking did anything. They don't do shit because there's a court order. It's fucked up. It's the stupidest excuse. So Kendra takes the kids, right? And she's got fucking Ava. Ava's crying all the way to fucking Kendra's house, crying the whole time. She's got them, okay? And 2 or 3 days later, dude, my daughter she's 9 years old, packs these fucking clothes in her fucking pink backpack, okay? In a little pink backpack to school, dude. The last day, so this is what she did. This is what she told me. She said she hid the clothes so her mom wouldn't wash them. She put them in her backpack on the last day and she brought them to her daddy. And when she came to my house, dude, she was so excited. Dude, she'd come, I pick them up at school on Fridays. I drive them to my house, right? Gary Gibson, you should realize this. I only had my kids Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays and Mondays. And those were my days, you fucking asshole. So there's no reason for them to have missed days or missed school days when I'm fucking have them, unless it's a Friday or a Monday, which is fucking damn near impossible. So I pick them up on Fridays, right? And here comes little Ava, dude, with the fucking little pink backpack, and she's got her backpack full with fucking clothes. She snuck out of the house. And this is what my daughter tells me. She says, here, Daddy, take these to the FBI or something like that, Daddy, because I told the Reading Police Department what happened and they didn't do anything. She said she told her teacher at school, she told the nurse at school, the principal at school, and they called RPD out there to the fucking Manzanita Elementary School, and they called Kendra. And Kendra said, I'm a liar. That had nothing to do with fucking Ava, which is fucking sad. It's disgusting to me. Because they didn't fucking ask Ava, they didn't fucking, they didn't call me down there to fucking get details or anything else, man, because they're so fucking pig-headed. Not only that, but they know what's up. Okay? So then, a year goes by, and I'm trying to get fucking help from everybody. I asked Mr. McGraney for fucking help. I asked fucking everybody, dude. Everybody I knew in law enforcement, or the DA's office, or the public defender's office, or the judges, I asked everybody for help. And a year later, October, so that March to October, Judge Gibson takes my two youngest kids away. Now, think about that. I have Jace full-time, my oldest son, Jace, full-time, because he's been getting abused over there, and I was supposed to get Jackson Ava too, right? And Judge Gibson, after my daughter gets molested in March, Judge Gibson takes my two youngest kids because he knew I was trying to take my kids outside the county to get help. And then I got arrested in March, again, like a year later, I got arrested again and spent another year in jail. So when these motherfuckers